Today on Chainlinked, it's all about SmartCon 2021. Keenan from Chainlink Labs is on to tell us about the talks you don't want to miss. And we'll talk to Josh from the Chainlink Labs community team to find out what's up with the significant growth across the Chainlink community and the international SmartCon watch parties. Chainlink is a pocket-sized podcast series looking at the many applications of Chainlink blockchain oracles across global enterprise, blockchain industry, and emerging tech projects. We'll break down the news and try to frame Chainlink technical innovations and integrations for any listener. My name is Dr. Andy Boyan. You can call me Andy, and I'll be your host. Last year's SmartCon was a roaring success, featuring basically the entire Chainlink ecosystem of projects, founders, supporters from DeFi, enterprise, NFTs, and much more. In the year since, Chainlink integrations have nearly quadrupled, so now SmartCon is expanding too. And the team putting it together has even more big names and great content for anyone who attends. So I brought Keenan on from the Chainlink Labs team. He's been at the center of planning, booking, prepping for SmartCon.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Andy, for having me on, and thanks a lot for organizing this podcast. Everything's coming along, and just like very, very grateful for the Chainlink ecosystem. Chainlink community makes things a lot of fun to be able to organize. So really excited for all the speakers. Got a whole lot of different specific talks as well as panels. This year, something that we've done different is there's a whole developer track as well as a research track. And so there'll be a lot more technical talks. There'll be times for you to be able to dive in, learn how to code. So there's a lot of new exciting features and different style of talks that are happening this year as well.
You can go to another room, you can attend to stuff that you want, right?
Yeah, it's crazy with how virtual events have changed over the past year and a half since all the different things that have happened outside of people's control. And so what's great about virtual events is that you're able to bring more people closer together. And so there'll be different stages, different topics for you to be able to go and explore kind of what interests you.
I was talking to somebody who's come in, Pranav from The Graph, and he was excited. Said everybody he knows from other projects is talking at it. And it's like big names and everybody you know in the space. I said, dude, you're one of those people. And he was like, yeah, I guess I am. So one of the speakers I've noticed is Balaji. I'm really excited about him coming. He's not been at other Chainlink events before. Do you have a sense of what he'll be talking about?
Yeah, so his conversation is going to be the different powers of what decentralized oracles are able to accomplish. Essentially, what we're doing is with decentralized oracles is you're being able to provide truth. Truth is something that gets so convoluted in these days with media, with people. Mm-hmm. And so it's along those lines. And how can you come to a decentralized, truthful answer about any sort of topic, whether it be data for your smart contract, whether that be, what is the correct number of COVID cases that are happening in a particular area. So there's a lot of different applications that come from decentralized oracles, and that's what makes it such a fascinating problem to work on.
He's been a proponent of talking about journalistic truth and how do we understand events in the world in an era, especially when every different media report has a different shading. So, a ton of our community tagged Chainlink and Chainlink Labs people when he started talking about that. And of course, I'm excited about that idea as well. So I'm really curious to see what he says there. Who are some of the other founders that people might know from past year's talks or some new ones?
We'll be adding a zero with Felton again. That was one of my favorite talks last year. Alex Wyszynski, he's always fascinating to listen to as well. He gets very passionate about the stuff that he's speaking about. And I'm really excited for a lot of the developer and research stuff that we have this year, and getting also a more academic approach to some of the talks as well.
Is that the stuff from Smart Contract Research Forum?
Yeah, so some of them are from Smart Contract Research Forum. We'll be doing stuff with around CBDCs, as well as being able to kind of hear about what's happening with a lot of different environmental use cases in the world around blockchain and cryptocurrency, which will be interesting. with a technical background myself, always interested to hear different updates that are happening on a technical level with projects and how to work with Chainlink.
Energy credits are a really big topic right now, especially coming from the EU. They've got some regulations now where companies need to deal with the carbon credits even more. There seem to be a few enterprise speakers on the schedule that people might not know about their companies. Like I noticed the chief data officer from LexisNexis. That's a pretty major database, like government documents and legal documents company. And then somebody we just announced on the Twitter today, day of recording, from Fidelity Investments is there too. Are there other sort of interesting enterprise speakers that you can think of off the top of your head right now that people might be interested in tuning into?
Yeah, so it's interesting to listen to John Wolpert. So it's exciting to listen to. York Rhodes will be there. Andreas Dietrich from Deutsche Telekom. Swisscom, which is another one that'll be interesting for people to learn about as well. And then one thing that's really exciting is there's a few different spots for Aave. And so Aave is doing a lot of really cool work, bringing in enterprises, bringing in different institutions. Mm-hmm. And so they'll be speaking with Sheila Warren from the World Economic Forum. And yeah, that'll be an exciting talk as well.
Stanley's always a great presenter as well. He's always got something interesting to say. So be sure to tune into those. Well, I'll be tuning into all of them. I'll watch the whole thing, of course, as I'll be MC at this one. One of the other things that I've noticed is there's a lot more Chainlink Labs people that will be presenting and moderating. Do you think the community is going to be surprised about the expansion of the Chainlink Labs team?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's definitely a lot more talks from core team members. And so I think people will be really excited to hear the different work. For the first time, we're usually very heads down, results driven. And so this will definitely be an opportunity to learn more about different people that have joined our team over the past year, what they're working on specifically, and how it all kind of connects together with all the projects in our ecosystem. So that'll be really exciting.
That's one of the reasons I'm really glad you came on, man. And I appreciate it. I know you're like swamped and trying to get all the details polished up for this. And so to take some time and talk to the community, I know you understand how important it is, having worked with the community for so long. To kind of wrap this up, what are some elements of planning a conference of this magnitude that people might not think of, stuff that you're engaged in?
That's a good question. It's never easy trying to organize 200 plus people plus multiple teams across the whole section, from working with third-party vendors to working with people like Josh, who's organizing, I think, like 10 or something watch parties around the world. And so finding spots within the schedule for him, planning with all these different people. And so it's not just like your buddies at college just planning
you can't just put up
couple people to come, like you're working with Sheila Warren at the World Economic Forum, like trying to find times within her schedule who's somewhere else, as well as Aave, who's on another side of the world. And that kind of just goes down the line. And I think we have close to like 50 something talks, if not more. Basically goes from 8 to 5, 3 days. And there's going to be multiple sections. And so also within the research developer tracks, working with each of those different people, because those are a whole different section with things. And so a lot of cross team work, working with a lot of different people. And that is one of the rewarding things that I enjoy. And everyone's made it actually this year super easy. Compared to last year, it was me and Roy against the world setting this up. So it's been, everyone has really helped a lot. And so, yeah, very appreciative of that.
Well, last year I told people SmartCon was like my first big Chainlink event. Like I knew about the community and I had joined the labs team a little bit earlier, but really jumping into the ecosystem and seeing everybody and seeing the community and seeing the standards that the team has for ourselves, it was really eye-opening and a cool experience. And so, hey, Matt, I appreciate your work from last year and from this year, and I'm really excited to see what happens.
Yep. Thanks for having me on. Thanks everyone for coming. Definitely sign up. If you have questions, you can always DM me. Feel free to reach out anytime. Here to help.
The Chainlink community, a lot like the Chainlink network, has been growing. I've invited the new community lead at Chainlink Labs, Josh Simonoff, to come chat with me about the latest growth across the world. Hey, Josh, how you doing, man?
Hey, man. I'm doing well. Great day here in Los Angeles.
What have you been up to today?
Today, I've been doing a lot of work for SmartCon. making sure that all the swag is going out in a timely manner, setting up our global watch parties all around the world. Right now, we have 27 confirmed locations for that in pretty much every continent: America, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, Latin America, Asia.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Well, I want to talk about community growth. First, since you're relatively new to the Chainlink ecosystem, can you give everybody a little background about yourself? Just who are you? Where'd you come from?
Yeah, so I've always been a nerd, always been into tech. I got into crypto through Bitcoin. I actually used to be a bit of a Bitcoin maxi, but I saw the light. Thankfully,
Welcome.
thanks, man. It took a minute, but Sergey definitely helped me out. His videos really sort of showed me the way to Chainlink. So I want to give a shout out to him too, because that's who got me here.
Right on. I'm a mostmalist, which is there's room for most everything. So that's just me. So we can connect on that. That's just fine.
That's definitely where I'm at now.
Awesome. I'm super glad to have you. We talk to each other quite a lot as I do my Chainlink Q&As, and there's advocates involved with those. And so we've actually have quite a lot of overlap in, kind of what we do around the Chainlink ecosystem. That's really cool. So I'm glad to just hang out and talk to you a little bit. So something I've been really impressed with is how diverse it is, not just demographically, but also geographically and nationally. It's really diverse. Josh, what are some of the fastest growing regions for our community internationally?
That's a great question. We're actually growing all over the world, really. Right now, we're growing a community in Southeast Asia, in India. We want to get developers from the Balkans. We want to start growing a community in Russia. We have a nascent community growing across sub-Saharan Africa. Really, though, at the end of the day, the Chainlink community is global. And so if you want to join, if you want to host meetups, translate articles into your native language, we want you to join the Advocate program and help contribute.
I've seen a ton of diversity in the Advocate program, not only demographically, but geographically. People speak a ton of languages. People are from all over the place. It's a real testament to the global reach of crypto and blockchain in general.
Yeah, I think it's really important wherever you are in the world to have this sort of chain of truth and understanding, and to be able to have something greater than trust. And so I think everyone across the world can relate to that. And that's why the Advocates program and the Chainlink community are global.
What are the best things that advocates or people who want to get involved can do for our community groups? Is it meetups? Is it attending things? Is it writing blogs? What can they do?
All of the above. It can be as little as posting a meme on Twitter, answering a question in the Telegram or Discord, improving your knowledge by reading Chainlink documentation or blog posts and sharing them, hosting meetups. Every contribution, big or small, is appreciated. And we try to recognize these contributions in any way we can.
Cool. And right now for SmartCon coming up, there's a bunch of watch parties. Is that right?
Yeah, that's another great way to get involved in the community. We recently put out a tweet signaling that if you want to join a watch party, to sign up and let us know. There are limited spots available, mostly due to pandemic restrictions in the local areas. But if you want to join a watch party in your neighborhood, check out the Chainlink Twitter. We're going to be posting more information there.
Yeah, do those and come watch me, because I'll be on some panels I found out. So I'm excited about that.
So we did put out a tweet for the watch parties on our official Twitter. But again, the community hangs out on the Telegram or on the Discord. So the best way to learn about a watch party that's happening in your city is to hop on there and ask.
Awesome. The SmartCon is August 5th through 7th. It is a virtual event, and there will be stuff broadcasting during the days on Eastern time. And we're working on doing some other kind of supportive events, not around the clock, but different hours, just to give people a lot of opportunities to connect with Chainlink community, Chainlink ecosystem, and all sorts of stuff like that. Josh, it's been awesome talking to you. I love what you're doing with the community, and I love how the community is responding. The advocates, big shout out to that team over there. What a group of stars you got.
It's amazing, man. I mean, who else can just go on YouTube and interview a world-class project that's funded by UNICEF or is getting really technical about pushing the limits of smart contract technology. It's really amazing the things that they do. And it's all just based on their passion. So yeah, big shout out to advocates. Love you guys.
Well, Josh, it's been nice talking to you. I will talk to you later in the chats, of course, but we'll have you on again maybe sometime and follow up on what the community's up to and any major events. Sound good?
All right, man. Yeah. See you around.
That's it for this week's Chainlinked. Thanks for listening and being part of the Chainlink community. Now, I've got a few favors to ask of you. Subscribe, rate, review, and share this podcast. It helps the algorithm robots spread Chainlinked and the Chainlink ecosystem to more crypto-curious people. Next, follow me and Chainlink Today on Twitter. I'm at Andy Boyan, and you can get updates on the podcast at Chainlink Today. They're our friends helping distribute the podcast. Finally, join the official Chainlink Discord and Telegram communities. Many community members, including myself, hang out there, so you can come chat with me about what you want to hear more of on Chainlinked. Again, thank you for supporting the podcast by listening, and I'll catch you next time.